Peace, family. It's James Mack here, live in Miami, and I wanted to, I want to, give people some time to jump on in. Today we talking about, you know, comparison. Family is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy, and a lot of people don't really understand this. I want to talk about that. I want to talk to that. I want to talk to that. About the trash rap music, the imagery that's making you feel like you're losing. How many times we feel like we're losing because we see rappers on TV and we see other people on TV or videos doing their thing. Let's get into that right now. I don't want to waste no time at all. Everybody is showing wins right now on social media, but nobody is showing the losses, and that's what is mind boggling to me. No one is showing the losses. Nobody is showing you got the credit repair people, but nobody's showing the debt. You got the people that say they happy, but nobody's showing the depression. You got everybody winning, but nobody's showing the failures. You got people with sleepless nights, but everybody talking about they don't go to sleep. Man, listen, let's go behind the scenes for a second and really think about the comparison and how that is the thief of joy. Because you're comparing somebody else's life to yours. And half the people, and this is real talk, half the people you're comparing yourself to is struggling in silence. And you don't even know that, because we can artificially make this thing look the way we want it to look these days. We can make you feel like we're winning. And a lot of people are actually losing. Comparison is creating fake deadlines. You feel like because they did it, now you got to do it. And you got to do it quickly. Hold on, let me talk to y'all for a second about this. You got to be married by 30 nowadays, right? You got to be married by 30. That's crazy to me. You should be rich by 25. You understand? You should be rich by 25. Think about that. You should be rich by 25. You should have a house already paid for. You understand me? This is the timelines that people are putting in our heads. And you don't even know their whole story. So when you see people rolling up in the big Rolls Royce, the big Phantom, you see people driving the big Benz. You don't know how long it took them to get that right there. Life is not a racetrack, people. I want y'all to get that right. Life is about different lanes for everybody. You're acting like you're late to somebody else's life. That's crazy, right? You're acting like you're late to somebody else's life. But you're really right on time for yours. And this is what you must understand. And this will stop all that getting depressed. I can't tell you how many times I open up the phone, see somebody else doing something, and now all of a sudden I was having a good day and I see somebody else splash their successes. And now I feel like, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't. And that's all right because you got your own lane. This new comparison thing that we're going through is killing your creativity. You can't even get active and get solid on what you're trying to do because you're worried about how good somebody else is doing it, how good they're making their social media work, how good they're making their stacks of money look. You don't know if it's even ones in the middle. You stop creating because you're depressed. I done went through it too. You stop creating because you get depressed. You know what I'm saying? You start trying to copy what they're doing. They talking about their fiction credit, or they're talking about, they have, all this clientele, or they're doing all these orders. Now you're trying to do that in your life. Then you start doubting your voice, the very voice that God gave you to succeed. You start doubting that. You start thinking of, are you really worth it? You start, well, I should post this, I should post that. You should do what the universe puts on your heart, not somebody else's. Your gift is not supposed to look like their gift. I want you to remember that. I'm going to say that one more time. Your gift is not supposed to look like their gift. When they're in their true essence, when they put it together and post it, that's what God got for them. It's not for you. So we got to talk about, after all that, after you see I'm talking about, I wake up in the morning, it's silent mental damage. That's what it is. Silent mental damage. When you see somebody taking off, doing well, doing what they do, and you feel like you're not doing what you need to do, or you're not popping off. And that's what feeds anxiety. That's what feeds jealousy, insecurity, depression, all these different things. Because you start believing that you're not good enough. You start believing that you're not really doing what you need to do, and you're doing. And you might just be doing exactly what you need to do, how you need to do it in this life, in this business. But guess what? That comparison, seeing somebody else doing their thing, now you feel down. You feel, I've been through it. I've been through it. And I felt like I wasn't enough at times. That I wasn't doing my social media. Do your social media and it don't turn out the way you wanted to. You look at somebody else that got 35,000 views on something. Your content was better than that. Or your situation, or your designs, or your art, or whatever you do. Some people not even, and it puts you in a situation where some people not even tired of actually working. You see people that look tired, you're like, man, you look tired. Why are you so tired? They're not tired of working. They're tired of watching and living somebody else's dream. Ain't that crazy? And I know how I feel, because you could spend hours on social media and go down a spiral living somebody else's dream. And when you turn that phone off, guess what? It's your reality that you got to face. It's your surroundings that you have to look at. I want you to remember something. Staying focused is the real winning strategy right now. I'm going to say that again. Staying focused is the real winning strategy on your goals, on your mission. The people that win in the long term is the ones that stay in their lane. They don't cross over. They don't get to doing credit. They don't get to being trainers. They don't get to being public speakers. They get to doing what is in their lane. And while doing that, they're moving with discipline. So it looks like they did it overnight, but they didn't. Scroll back. I know somebody that just took off. And then when I look at their social media, they've been doing this for 6 or 7 years. And they just took off. It just started working. Water your grass, man. You know what I mean? Water your grass. And stop looking at your neighbor's grass. That's what I'm talking about, right? You see me looking over here like, man, their grass looks so clean. And so cut. It's growing is such a weight. And you look at your little bald head. But guess what? Your bald head grass is going to turn into some beautiful grass one day if you keep watering it. So my question to you is, what does your life look like when you stop comparing it to others? When you stop looking at this social media and seeing everybody, Charleston White, you understand me, blowing up out of nowhere. You want to start acting like Charleston White and start doing the things he doing? That might not work. That may not work out for you the same way, but it did for him because he's authentically being who he is. Are you authentically being who you are? You know, you want to be a podcaster, but are you really being authentically who you are? Think about that. And then also think about this, because I don't want to discourage you from doing something to get some inspiration. Let me ask you this question. What dream did you abandon? What dream did you abandon because somebody else is already doing it? Just because somebody else has already started the podcast, just because somebody else has already started Fiction Credit, just because somebody had already started drop shipping, don't mean you can't do it. You just have to do it with authenticity. You just got to be true to yourself. Because that imposter thing is something serious. Comparison, man, steals your joy, your gratitude, and your progress. You know, you can't even thank God correctly for all the blessings you got because you worried about what the next man got and how it's looking and how they're splashing and how they're doing it. But you don't know that God is working in your life. You don't know the universe is working on your behalf. You know, as long as you stay diligent and as long as you stay grateful and keep the progress going, even in the dark times. Because if you didn't know, we had a rough 2 to 3 years that just passed. I can't really speak on what's happening right now, except that we hope and we are hopeful that everything is taking place is in our best benefit, in our best light. We hope that the economy is getting ready to take off to the next level. And you need to be prepared for that. You don't need to live their life anymore. Your influencers. You need to build your own. Be your own influencer. Be your own influencer. Be your own influencer. Be an influencer for these kids and these young people that's stuck. Because now we know that the rap and the rap music and the messages that's coming out right now is trash. They pick certain, they don't want the conscious music. They don't want the conscious music. No, they want the music that's gonna destroy the culture. They want the music that's gonna destroy the culture. The ignorance is the goal right now, right? I mean, if you giving a good message, if you staying positive, you radiating good energy, that's not enough these days on social media. Because if you do it in real life, like you had to do it in real life before, everybody's going to recognize that and everybody's going to gravitate to you. When you're authentically being yourself, that's the most powerful thing you can do in existence. People can see a fake from a mile away. People can see a phony. I mean, and people are even getting more clever and more clever with the phoniness and the fugaziness because of AI and things like that. So now, you know, we don't know what's real. So you can't compare yourself to something you don't even know is real. I was taught to believe none of what I hear and half of what I see. I'm gonna say that again. I was taught to believe none of what I hear and half of what I see. Because these days you can't even believe nothing you seeing. We don't know where people is truly at in their lives that can act or put together a certain type of demonstration to make you feel like, ooh, they're on top. They're doing it. They're making big moves. You don't know what moves they're making behind. You don't know what secret contracts are. You don't know what deals they made behind closed doors, man. You don't know. But yet you're sitting at your house or you're sitting in your neighborhood or your city, down to yourself saying you're not doing enough because so and so got rich because uh uh Glorilla, Brorilla then turned up. We don't know the real struggle. We don't know. That might have been specifically designed for God to bless Glorilla, you understand me, with the blessing to end up and it shadowing Brorilla and all the rest of her family. You know, that may be what God got for them. You don't know how long they struggled. She said they struggled for 4 years while she was out there trying to do what she do. Now she got a name for herself. She may not have all the money people saying, but she got a name for herself, which is now being able to, you understand me, trickle down on the family. And if they try, and if they step their game up and get into the limelight and catch some of that raise, then they can do something for their with them and for themselves. But it's important to stay true to yourself. It's important to continue going for your goals. It's important to not give up because that's the only thing that we truly have is this life. And in this life, the goal is to do good works, be something, try your best. It's so many dark times that I've battled through personally that I can share with you. But I'll share this with you. I chose a career of being a jeweler. And just over the last 3 years, jewelry sales have went down more than 40% in general in the industry. Does that mean I turn into a carpenter? Does that mean I turn into a mechanic? Or does that mean that I continue going forward being who James Mack is, giving you the best I can on my social media and doing what I do? I have the ability to splash on you. I can make it seem like I'm having millions or make it seem like I'm doing this. But I want to be true to myself. So when you see me on a regular basis, when you see me on the regular, you like, nah, he really doing it. He really doing that for real. You know what I mean? Because the richest people, they don't tell you they the richest people. I'm sitting in my office right now in Miami, and upstairs is a billionaire who own all of downtown Miami. He just walking around regularly. You might not, but you can bump into him and not even know. He one of the nicest guys in the building. You know what I mean? And he got billions. You know, Manny Moshe Manna, excuse me. And I'm part of the Manatech, you know what I mean, here in downtown Miami. But however, it's the essence, right? Because everybody that I ever met that really was some influence, a star or a billionaire or millionaire or somebody just having some real good motion, they had a certain type of light. You hear me? They had a certain type of light about themselves. And that light shines because you have a certain light in you. It's been scientifically proven that every human emits light. That's why they call us light beings. We emit light. And the light can be seen with the eye, but not recognized with the brain and felt because, light can be felt as well. That's why when you go in the sun, you feel the light, right? You can actually feel the light of the sun on your skin. So when somebody that's bright comes into a room and their spirit and their being is of essence, you can feel that. And when somebody dark comes into the room, you can feel that as well. Am I lying? Leave it in the chats. Am I lying? I want to be of, and I am of one of those ones that's brightening up the room, coming through with good energy, coming through making people want to connect. Maybe people want to do good things with me, making people want to be associated with me, making people want to invest in me, want to help me. Not a flodger, not a poser, not a capper, but an authentic one. It's on us to bring the authenticity back because we're in a time right now where a certain amount of people they're moving the goalposts as we speak, right? In Washington, they're doing things to separate the people. Where are the leaders? Leaders, stand up. It's no leaders. The leaders are the rappers. The leaders are the rappers. The leaders are the comedians. The jesters of the court. That's the leaders. That's our leaders. And you're following the leaders you're following the leaders because the leaders are following the algorithm because the algorithm is giving you the false leaders to make you think that's who really moving the culture. It's all a joke. It's all a game, right? It's all meant to make you laugh, right? Keep laughing because this is really nothing funny. In all actuality, is nothing funny about how our culture is moving, how we have some of the lowest or the highest unemployment rates of all races. There's nothing funny about that. But they want to keep you distracted and keep you laughing so you don't wake up and realize that we're not creating anything for the most part. We're not there. The powers that be right now, the administrations right now is making sure that they're looking out for their culture and their people. That's the truth of the matter. If you look at the, who's in the administration and all this here, and you look at the rounds, you don't see no brown people or no black people for the most part, right? And that's okay. That's all right, guys. But as we move into this new gold era, as we move into this new age of robotics, of AI, you must adapt because any of these small jobs, any of this type of stuff you doing, these Amazon stuff, man, that stuff is going to be replaced in the next 2 years. I promise you that. That's a fact. They just ain't rolling. Anything that they tell you is about to happen, it's already ready to go. Robots is already ready to go. They just don't want to bring it out yet because we got some instability. Like they have a plan. Like they setting it all up right now. Once they get the global dominance set, once they get things in perspective and have really a grip on the world and worlds, because this ain't just all about Earth. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper right now. This just ain't all about Earth. This is about the universe. This is about the solar system. They're trying to first conquer the Earth and make sure that it's one world and global dominance, and then we taking off and we're taking it to the next level. And so in that, you can't compare. There's no comparison when you see people making rockets, when you see people blasting off the moon, when you see people doing robotics. But you don't care about that. You're not comparing yourself to that. And that's what you should be comparing yourself to, right? That's what should make you feel bad, is that you're not in robotics, that you're not building, you're not creating. No, you feel bad because you're not getting likes, because you're not doing dumb enough stuff like the dummies or like the comedians. And you're not feeding the algorithm the ignorance that it desires so it can make you go up, right? Because now the thing is, in order to go up, you got to crash out, right? So you would allow yourself to damage your image and damage your persona and just go all the way out for some likes. When you should be mad at yourself that you're not a robotics engineer. You should be so upset that you're not a technician. You should be so upset that you don't know nothing about importing and exporting. You don't know nothing about importing and exporting. You don't know nothing about robotics. You don't know nothing about, chemistry. You don't know nothing about sustainability. You know about comedy. And I'm talking to you. You know what I'm talking about. You know about comedy. You know about drama. That's what they feed you. You take that. You take that drama. You take that rap. You stuck on rap music. I heard in a Caucasian guy told me this one time. We was having just a general conversation, and I didn't get mad. He said, the Mexicans have the work. The Indians have the technology. They have the internet. The white people, excuse me, being respectful, the white people have politics and economics. The black people have music and destruction. How does that make you feel, right? Because the South Americans, much respect, I'm just giving an analysis right now, no disrespect to no culture. They put themselves in position in real estate and in construction. You go to any city right now, and the main people that own the construction sites are South Americans, be it Mexican, Venezuela. We don't know where they're from, but they own the construction sites. Most of the corporate jobs are held by, especially when it comes to economics and markets and investments, and that's all pretty much white. Let's be honest, and they're investing in real estate as well. Let's be honest. The robotics and things like that and these new technologies, Indians are taking off with that type of stuff. The Indians, they know about, AI, they know about robotics. The Africans too. Shout out to the Africans. They know about robotics. They know about this type of thing. They know about the servers. They know about, Bitcoin. They know about these things. They're taking off with that. I know so many rich Indians here in America. It's crazy. Black people, African Americans, Black Americans. Soul entertainment. You think the only way to make it is do some rap or to fix your credit, or to do something like this here, right? That's or to act stupid. I know people that's grown adults that's trying to figure out what way they can act stupid and be ignorant to the fact to where they can make money off of Facebook or Instagram. I mean, we're talking 50 years old, 40 years old, trying to figure out how stupid can they get? How ignorant can they get in order to get a Facebook check? We went from different checks. Now we on Facebook check. You're doing the most ignorant stuff you can do to try to get a Facebook check. What would Martin Luther King say? What would Harriet Tubman say in this type of day? Where are our Harriet Tubmans? Where are our Martin Luther Kings and our Malcolm X's? I'm standing up as one. Somebody told me you can stand up and do that, but they just gonna destroy that type of persona. I said, man, that's crazy. You got leaders out here that's scared to stand up because they know, and all they got to do is give you a couple dollars or make one of your Facebook posts go up when you talking something crazy. Now you're gonna start talking crazy. They control you, right? Anytime you don't have nothing left but to depend on Facebook or to try that, you might as well go play the lottery every day. This just like playing the lottery. Only thing is that reputation, they own it. So whenever they want to replay those videos or put you back out there, maybe you changed your life and you stepped your game up. And now you see old videos, you acting dumb, stupid, retarded for a Facebook check because they own it, right? And then when they start cloning you and making AI doubles of you and putting you back out there, which we see right now with the dancing and all that, they don't even, in a minute, they're not even going to need black people to even do entertainment. It's all going to be AI. They're not going to need you to do entertainment. They ain't going to need you to do no type of work. They ain't going to need you to do Uber Eats. They're not going to need you to do Grubhub. They're not going to need you to do any of that. They're not going to need you to work Amazon. What are you going to do? They ain't gonna need you to do entertainment. They gonna make the funniest stuff. They're studying you right now. They see what you like, or you like dancing, or you like prank videos, or you like people, you want to see people shooting each other. Okay. We can manufacture that and keep sending it to you. And now you stuck, right? They're clocking. The advertisers making money. Everybody making money. You sitting on your couch watching shooting videos, watching people get ran over by cars, right? Watching people with the tea and the gossip all day long, getting nothing done. Getting nothing done while other people are really working their brain, really coming up with solutions to world problems, really working on robotics, really trying to figure out how they can navigate this upcoming gold rush, right? And all you thinking about, I want to go back and watch Love and Hip Hop or Pop the Balloon. I want to go watch Pop the Balloon tonight instead of studying your mind. We are the creators. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, we are the creators of civilizations, right? But if you continue to allow yourself to be absorbed and used in such a way that diminishes, nobody's even thinking about no black people right now. Not even thinking about black people right now. Black people is so far off and gone in a lot of people's eyes. They like, man, we not even worried about no black people. They're killing themselves. They have no education. We not even working. They're not getting a job over here. That's, you might well forget. We not coming in the office space with us. They're not getting no job. You can go do you can go clean up, but you ain't coming in this boardroom, and you are so brilliant. That's the thing. They know, everybody knows you're so intelligent and so brilliant. Somebody said you've been working with so much. You've been working with so little. Excuse me. Somebody said, I want you to pay attention to this very crucial. Somebody said you've been working with so little for so long till you don't even realize you don't got nothing. That's what you don't understand, that you've been working with so little for so long surviving. But you don't really have nothing. Really. A lot of people is 2 steps away from being like my man, like, and it's not funny at all, but like my brother here in Miami say, a lot of people is 2 steps away from finding a piece of that cardboard. And that's terrible. That is so terrible that all these black people don't have no education, that no skills. But it's depending, like this is like people is really setting their mind up to think that, okay, if I go ahead and run down the street naked, I'm gonna go viral. If I beat my kids on camera, I'm gonna go viral. Ooh, let me get this person getting their head shot off in Milwaukee, Wisconsin of a car accident. Let me put that out here because I'm gonna go viral. That's somebody's family member. Go viral on something you created that's gonna solve a world problem. Go viral on leaving out of America and going somewhere else. It's dangerous right now, but you still can go places and do things. If you're stuck, this is a message to you out there that's stuck right now, that may be sitting on your couch right now. This is a true message. I want to prophesize this in your life. I want to give you this message. I'm not no preacher. I just feel moved to give you this message right now. So I want you to click this and I want you to share this because it's real. If you are depressed, if you're hurt right now, if you're tired of being tired, if you're tired of being broke, because a lot of people have conditioned themselves to be all right with being broke. Like a lot of people being broke for so long that they don't even realize how I feel to get no money. Like they've been broke and just surviving for so long that they've set up their life to be able to maintain in a broken state, in a low money state. If you're feeling like everything is it's the 6th of the month, if your rent is not paid, if your car note is not paid, I want you to believe that things can change. And I don't want you just to believe. I want you to start scouring this internet. I want you to start getting on here trying to figure out what is moving in the industry. How can you get into robotics class in your area? That is the future. Robotics. AI is the future. You want to control AI, not be controlled by AI. Because anytime the algorithm tells you what to do, and you see, okay, if I start cussing somebody out, it's up. But if I start doing a prayer online, it's down. If I start talking about something positive and giving you inspiration, it's down. But if I start cussing and telling you about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, then it's up. We cannot let this artificial intelligence control our minds. We have to control the intelligence. And that's by having a yearning and wanting to be intelligent. Okay? You have to want to be intelligent. You have to want to thrive. A lot of people right here, if you had an education and you was getting $120,000 a year, you don't even know. A lot of people who are in states they're in mental states and depression and all these type of things, they would not even be that same type of person if they had a real salary. I look at all the time, I look at all these black men out here on these street corners and laying on this ground and these type of things. And I think to myself, man, what if that brother had $120,000 salary? How would that look if all these brothers on these streets laying down, walking, mental illness, in jail? What if all those millions of black men had $120,000 salary a year? How would that look? That would disrupt the whole situation, man. Real estate will be different. Everything will be different because you got a whole class of people that's not receiving nowhere near that. Poverty is $18,000 a year. That's like $1,000 a month. $1,200 a month. So if you making less than $1,200 per month, you're in poverty. And it's a lot of people that's not even reaching $1,200 a month because that's a typical rent in most cities. It's $1,200 a month. And it's hard for a lot of people to pay their rent because if you got a job that's paying $20 an hour and you're working 40 hours a week, that's only $800 minus, and then you minus your taxes and things off of that. So you need, to let's be honest, to really make it out here, you have to make at least $1,500 per week. That's $6,000 per month. That's what you need to be making, right? A person that's making $120,000 a year is making $10,000 a month. You need, and I'm talking to you, you need to be making $10,000 a month so your life can change, so you could take care. Just think if in our community, and I'm just speaking about our community at the moment, I'm trying to uplift our people. Just think if our community was making, everybody in our community was making over $100,000 a year, educated. That's what you see in other communities. That's why you see them buying the big houses. They're coming together. She's making 80 or 90. He's making 80 or 90. They got 200 and $300,000 households. A lot of you all's households is only making like, for a whole house of 4 or 5 individuals, y'all might be bringing in 4,000 a month with 5, 6 people in the house all together. And that's living. That's living. But that's really surviving. You know what I'm saying? That's surviving, guys. And I want y'all to remember that. You got to take your destiny into your own hands. Entrepreneurship and innovation has been one of the strong points for Black Americans for many, many years. For many, many years. And when the potential get to a certain level, then the powers that be destroy it. They destroyed it here in Miami and Overtown, Oklahoma City, Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chicago, Brooklyn, Harlem, you know what I mean? Watts, all these places where the Blacks start to feel like, okay, we're starting to get somewhere. Then they put a highway through it or a railroad through the neighborhood. Charlotte, North Carolina, Brooklyn area. They put a expressway right through the middle of the whole neighborhood where it was doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. That's okay. We need to become doctors and lawyers. We need to become entrepreneurial minded. We need to become creators, inventors. I'm in the Manatech building right now. This building, the majority of people that's in here doing groundbreaking things is Latin from all different countries from South America. They're in here doing AI. They're in here doing all different type of wonderful things, bringing their levels up. And they from countries that's way worse than some of the countries or some of the neighborhoods here in the United States. And they get over here, they right to code, right to AI, right to sustainability, right to everything. And starting to really come up, starting to drive those big Rolls Royces and those big Bentleys. I don't know what everybody's doing. That's what I'm telling you about the comparison. I can't compare myself to somebody that's, from a Latin American country that's pulling up in the Rolls Royce. I don't know what they're doing. They could say they're doing sustainability, but it could be something else. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the manna ecosystem, right? That he has built because he was a person from another country, right? That came to America, started in New York in a moving position, and then he started moving using the owner's truck, doing his own thing afterwards, right? And doing that, he took off, right? He used to use the owner's truck to do moving after he got done with moving. He's a billionaire. I'm sitting in the office right now that he owns. You can do it too. You can do it too. So if you're depressed right now, if you're not making enough money right now, then turn this off. As soon as I get done, turn this off and start to really think about what you can do with these, number one, and what you can do with this. Because we created the stoplight. We created the microwave. We created GPS. We created the elevator. I can go on and on and on. We created the golf team. You know what I mean? We created so many things. And we can continue to create more things. Just think. We created the pyramids. We created that civilization. It's so many more things that's an opportunity. We're not getting the respect right now. Nobody cares, but I care. So I want you to take this little live right here, and I want you to replay this. And I want you to know that you are somebody. Don't let the internet fool you. You are somebody. You're a light being. And the universe sent you to this small earth for a reason. Be a vessel, right? Be a vessel, right? Do something with your life. Be better than you was yesterday. Be better than you was yesterday. Tap in, tune in, look out for the new content. I don't worry about the content getting 50 views per video. That's crazy, right? But it's all positive, good messages. And that's not what's popping. That doesn't pay the bills for YouTube. They want me to dance. They want me to cuss you out. They want me to cuss Cardi B out. They want me to cuss anybody I can. They want me to cuss them out. They want me to act up. They want me to tell celebrity news. They want me to tell about the drama. They want me to spill the tea. That's all distractions because that's not getting you anywhere. That's not getting you anywhere. They just want to study that so they know what they can use AI. That's why everybody got new terms, conditions they're rolling out because all the new terms and conditions, they're letting you know that we want to repurpose this content that you're making, this ignorant content, showing people getting ran over, showing people fighting. And you see it now. You see the memes or the AI dancing, doing our dances. You see the AI turning people into babies. They want you to continue to think in a fetal mind state. They want grown men to see themselves as babies. This is mental conditioning to the next level. They want you to see yourself as helpless. This is war strategies on a vulnerable people. If we don't start opening our own buildings and our own opportunities, there will be none. There will be none. Please believe that. Because they're not going to put you in their offices. They have laid off more educated Black women in the last 2 years than ever in history. I think somewhere to the tune of over 100,000 qualified Black women have been let go. The memo, because I'm on boards, I sit on boards where the memo is we don't want nothing that has to do with diversity, nothing that has to do with any of those type of phrases. If you use any phrases, diversity, if you hiring and you equal opportunity, all that is out. Ain't no equal opportunity, ain't no diversity, ain't no none of that. Right? And then you say it's merit-based, but Black men and women is the last with the education. So if it's merit-based, then that means that if you ain't got no education, you out. But guess what? They can't stop innovation. So I need y'all to innovate. I need y'all to stop worrying about the new dance. Stop worrying about who got ran over and who got shot and start worrying about the robotics and what can we do? Can we make our own drones? You can. They sell all the parts online. Start creating, man, and stop imitating. Because if I go and do what Charleston White doing it, I'm not who I supposed to be authentically. If I cuss everybody out and going, yes, my views are gonna shoot through the roof. If I start cussing right here, right now, and start telling you what it ain't gonna be and what it is, I'm gonna start watching my viewership go up and up and up. But is that being who I want to see that 20 years from now? 20 years from now? 50 years from now, I want to see this. Because I know I'm speaking the truth and I can handle looking at myself 50 years from now saying, man, you was doing your thing. Not cracking somebody over here with a bottle or something like that and then they replay it 20 years from now as a meme or you know what I'm saying, to make fun, and then I'm looking stupid, I'm looking crazy. Nah, think about the future. Think about the future. I'm James Mack. Comparison is the thief of joy, man. Authenticity is the crown. Be yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else doing, because the universe and the higher powers that be have something special for you. I'm out of here, man. Stay tuned for all the new content, man. Support, man. Support. We have to support our own and not just it. Support the positive. Support the positive talks because we were running to go support Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these type of things where they were coming up. Now we running to support the Charleston Whites and the jesters of our culture. We running the wrong way, guys. Tap in, stay tuned. Let's go. I love y'all, man.